my goodness gracious. This is gonna take a while. Hello! I hope y'all are safe and doing well. Today, I've decided that I'm just going to have a conversation with you because, well, I just felt like it. This is going to be more of a story time rather than me giving any type of advice. Although I still hope that you might relate to my experience or that maybe will be helpful for you in any type of way. Either way, feel free to share any opinion or experience you've had regarding what I'm about to talk about so we can continue the discussion in the comments section and learn something more from each other even after the video is done. But what do I want to talk about today? Well, since I've not been very active on my social media accounts during these last few months like I used to be, I noticed some drastic changes in the way I approach art and just making new illustrations in general. So I wanted to talk about how posting my work online and becoming a content creator affected me as an artist. For those of you who don't know, I started posting my illustrations over on Instagram around 2019. I wasn't very active at all back then and ended up making only a few illustrations per year. It was around January of 2022 when I finally decided to try harder and really start to get better at drawing. So I deleted all the illustrations I shared on Instagram up to that point and started again with 0 posts. My dream was to eventually become a full-time artist, so I started drawing every single day. And I managed to post at least one drawing every week. It was all fun and games at first, I had lots of ideas and I couldn't wait to get even better, to be able to perfectly portray whatever was in my head. I was always overjoyed whenever I would finish an illustration because it seemed like it was better than the previous one I had made. And that made me super excited for the next project. I loved challenging myself and getting better each time. I would say that's actually what kept me going for a good while. Time passed, I got a couple of commissions here and there, and I also decided to start a YouTube channel. After all, my dream was still to do this as a full-time job. And here's where I think things went slowly downhill for me. I started creating illustrations that I thought would give me and my account more attention. I made quite a few fan arts of characters that I never even cared about. I didn't know their story and I wasn't attached to them in the slightest way. I would pick my next subject based on their popularity in that moment. It pretty much felt like I lost the passion for drawing that I initially had. Making new illustrations and posting them felt more like a chore than something I genuinely wanted to do. Even when I was drawing every single day, I legit wanted to do that. It was fun. It made me happy and content. I didn't care about the engagement. I didn't care about the number of likes and followers I would get. I didn't care if I would get a commission or not. I was just happy to draw and get better and be able to illustrate whatever I wanted. But the will to improve and get better slowly turned into the will to get more attention and make money very quickly. It got to a point where I would actually despise the time of the day that I would dedicate to either drawing or making a video for YouTube. I pulled through despite these feelings for a while until a few months ago, when my neighbors decided to completely renovate their house floor. For context, I live in an apartment right below them, and all I can say to the people that have been in this situation before, I feel for you. The noise was extremely unbearable, so much so that I just either had to go out or stay secluded in a specific area of my house. That was it. The frustration I built up over the months peaked at this point, and I completely stopped drawing. It felt like an absolute defeat. However, in the meantime, I decided to finally dedicate some of the extra free time that I had to better myself and my health. After a few months of hard work, I already feel the best I've ever felt. Ever. Really, literally. So much so that the will to draw again is actually back, which got me thinking a lot about my relationship with art. I came to the conclusion that the will to please others and be liked definitely played a big, harmful role in my art journey. But that wasn't the only problem. Neglecting my physical health had a big impact on my daily life and how I would experience it. And last but not least, there were external factors pressuring me to make this business idea of mine to work and work fast. Not only that, but even scheduling which subject I was supposed to draw and when I should post them for maximum engagement completely killed my creativity. I've realized that my approach to art used to be very spontaneous, and that's why I managed to draw every day. There was no pressure to draw specific subjects to be liked by people. I would draw whatever I want to draw and whenever I would want to draw it. I would say that I probably dislike a good 70% of my Instagram posts at the moment, not because I don't like how they turned out. I actually believe that some of them look pretty good. But because I know that some of them were made with no passion whatsoever. It's almost like they got no soul. I'm not attached to them. I don't remember having a good time while creating them. Besides, I can also see that I wasn't improving much anymore, since I was just playing it safe all the time instead of experimenting more. And the only way that will change is by drawing more spontaneous things again, without caring if it will do good or not on social media. It probably means that I'll be very inconsistent with my content, which is kind of scary, but at the same time relieving. Being free from any pressure that I put onto myself feels nice. I want to experiment a lot. I want to change style and maybe also try some traditional art again from time to time. I want to develop my OC story, but also draw lots of fan art of characters that I love. So you're probably going to see some chaos from now on, so I apologize for that. I also intend to continue making content for YouTube because I absolutely love doing that too. But just like my illustrations, I'm probably not going to use a consistent format. So feel free to expect literally anything over here, from art vlogs to tutorials and more chill storytime videos like this one. The only thing I would say though is that despite my dislike to force myself to draw specific characters, I absolutely love working on commissions. It just, I don't know, it makes me so happy to bring people's ideas to life for some reason. But anyways, I think this was a long enough yapping session. If you got to this point, well, that's crazy. You've got my respect, seriously. But yeah, as I said, I'm not giving any advice right now, as I'm also still trying to figure stuff out, but I thought it would be nice to share some stuff with y'all and hopefully have some convos about all this in the comment section. I'm genuinely curious as to how your experiences are. And by the way, I'm not only speaking to artists and illustrators, but to anyone going through something similar to what I've just described. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.